Hello and welcome to the first lesson of the Git Basics course of Race Karate. As we said in the introductory video, Git is a VCS that will allow us to track changes in our project. Okay. Before proceed with the lesson, go back to the article of the video where you will find some Git commands we're gonna use in this lesson, and also some Unix commands or Unix Linux commands for work in a terminal. Okay, so let's get started. If you have a cloud9.io account, go there, log in, and follow the next steps we're gonna do here. But if you don't have an account or you can't create a Cloud9 account, install Git manually in your computer. Okay, here you will find a link to the official Git website where you can download Git and install it manually. We highly recommend to work on Mac or work on any Linux distribution. We do not recommend work on Windows. Okay, so try and install Linux, or if you have Mac. So let's keep going. Actually, in MacBooks or Mac, Git is installed by default. So okay, so if you are here in your Cloud9 environment, go to create a new workspace. I'm gonna say Git Basics. Okay, I'm here in the template. Choose blank. Okay, let's wait until it's created. Great, our workspace is created. I'm gonna delete this folder here. Delete, yes. Delete this, make this bigger. Okay, so here is the console of our workspace. Basically, if you install Git in your local machine, you just open up a terminal, type the commands we're gonna make here. We're gonna show you here. Let's do this. First of all, make sure Git is installed in your machine with the following command: git -- version, and you will see the actual version of Git you have installed. It actually doesn't matter the version you're using, because all the commands that we're gonna use in this course works almost with all the Git versions. So this is not relevant at the moment. So let's start with the following. The first thing we want to learn is how to create a repository. So we use the git init command. Okay, so if you specify a name after git init command, for example, my first repository, and you hit enter, you will see that Git will create a new folder, and this will be your repository because you specified a name here after the git init. Okay, I'm going to remove this. You can use the tab key for autocomplete, and you don't need to type the whole folder name. Okay, the tab autocompletion works with all terminals. I'm sure. Okay, so let's do the following. We also can create a repository just with the git init command. If I do not specify any name after git init, it will create a repository in the actual working directory. For example, in this case, Git Basics directory. Okay, and it created a new Git repository in my actual folder. And look at this, it shows a master flag here. We don't need to understand what it means right now. But this indicates that we are working on a repository. This doesn't show up in all the terminals, so it's not relevant right now. Let's continue. So right now, as you can see, we have a repository here, but we don't see anything. Remember that that Git saves all the control version information in a hidden folder called .git that is hidden in our current directory. If I make ls dash a, as you can see that here we have the Git folder hidden. Okay, dash a will allow us to see the list hidden folders. Okay, so let's continue. Here we are in our repository. Now let's create a file and learn how to commit changes. So I'm going to create a file called readme. Here, as you can see, the file was created. I'm going to open this file and I'm going to add some text. Git Basics readme file. I'm going to save. And how do I commit changes? Well, you must add the file to your repository with the git add command. So git add readme. But you will be asking, why do we need to add files manually? If we're working on BCS, it should track all files automatically. Well, this functionality is really important or really useful because not all the files we're gonna work in this project, we need them to track changes. For example, if you have a file with some passwords, with personal passwords, or you have files with sensitive data, you don't want any other developer or any other people to see it. So we don't want Git to keep track of those files. So that's why Git um, needs us to add files manually. Okay. So any file we add in the repository, we need them added. We need to add them to Git manually with this command. Okay. Now we added the file and now we can commit the change with the command git commit. So with this command, Git will open up a nano editor that is the editor of the terminal, and with some important information here, plus the change we added, that is a new file called readme, and here we can add the commit message. The commit messages should be short and very meaningful. So in this case, I just added a readme file. So let's say that. Okay, that's it. Control X for exit. Yes, and then hit enter. Okay, and as you can see, a new commit was added to the repository. This is the message of the Git in the terminal. And great, now we added a commit. Let's do another thing, because right now we are anonymous for Git. We need to configure this in order to tell Git who we are. Okay, so we do that with git config global and username. Here we specify our name. So my name git config global user.email. Here is our email. Right? Great. Now Git knows who we are. Okay, so all the commits we perform here will have our information. Now, I want to make another change to this file. Let's say I want to add another legend here. Okay, great. I added a new change to this file, and now we need to add the file again to the repository. But why? Well, we will learn that in the next lesson, because we are going to talk about something called a staging area. Any change you perform to any file that you already added, because we already added readme. If you go here, you can see that we added readme, but actually we need to add it again because we added a new change to the file. We're gonna see that in detail in next lesson. Right now, let's make the commit in a more optimized way with just one line in the command. So you want to say git commit, and I'm gonna use the -a flag that will add all the files we have changed in, we don't have added yet. -m that will allow us to enter the commit message directly in the commit. Okay, this is the commit message. Add permission to the README, and we used, again, I explained -a flag for add all the files directly in the commit. I mean, we don't have to say git add readme. No, we just add this, and all the files that hasn't been added will be added for the commit. And -m that with that flag we can add the message to the commit directly in the command. So let's hit enter. Oops. Hit enter, and there it is, our commit with one command. Well, this is all for this lesson. So in the next episode we're gonna show you and explain about the staging area, so don't miss it. See you in the next lesson. Bye bye.